Jace Lopez here. We're on the What the Elle podcast. I have my special guest today, Elle Kramer. How you doing, Elle?
I'm doing really good. Thanks for asking, Jace. How are you?
Really excited. I'm super pumped. I'm feeling awesome. I'm super excited to kick this podcast off. I know it's a big deal, and I'm excited to give people value.
That was so good. Honestly, better than what I could do. So thank you for taking away the pressure of the intro, because that's always the hardest part. You got to warm up a few times for me.
Biggest hurdle.
Jace, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. I always tell people I'm doing awesome because I really do, right? You know, people are always like, man, you're so positive, you're so encouraging. Like every day is the best day of my life, you know? And also, backtrack here, I've set up my life to be completely how I wanted to be 10 years ago, right? Mm-hmm. You know, 10 years ago, I was working in a bar. I was, working in the oil field, and like I was going to work. I was working for people, and I was like, man, I don't want to do this anymore, right? I want to work out my time. I want to hang out with my family and have fun, right? You know, and since then, I've structured my life to like literally wake up whenever I want to, train when I want to, and of course, impact people at high levels. So every day is the best day of my life.
Good answer. So before I get too ahead of myself, let me introduce Jace to y'all. So Jace Lopez is a competitive bodybuilder, a man who is the most well-known trainer in the Lafayette area with clients all over the United States for over 10 years. And he recently opened up his own gym in October? November of 2023.
That's right.
And also known as CBUM, Bayou CBUM. That is just a cliff note added by yours truly, Elle. And for the goal for this episode is basically, I just think Jace is super motivational and has so much scientific knowledge behind the way that he talks about the gym, and just want to hear about his life story and just pick his brain today. So without further ado, Jace Lopez, tell me your story.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. So I appreciate the intro there, Elle. So I'm Jace Lopez. I'm 33 years old. I'm from Opelousas, Louisiana. Most people from Opelousas don't make it out this far, so they kind of stay there. So I'm one of those that made it out. I am somebody who's addicted to progress. Since I was younger, I've always had this feeling that I was like, I was meant for more, right? And when you're around average people, you tend to kind of settle. So like the first thing I want to do is get around people who are making progress, right? So my life since then has been like, all right, who does what I want to do, and how can I get there faster, right? So I'm constantly, what's awesome about my gym is like, we have business owners, we have Christians, we have entrepreneurs, people who are super successful. So I'm constantly surrounded by people who bleed success, right? So so literally since then, I've kind of surrounded myself with people, and now I'm one of those people who kind of share that light to other people as well. So I started bodybuilding. You mentioned bodybuilding. I started bodybuilding in 2014. I played football in college, and after that, I was like, what do I do now? And it was a cool opportunity to meet somebody, meet a coach. He's like, hey man, you should bodybuild, and nobody's ever told me that before. So it was like, I guess I'll try it, and it was cool because I'm a very competitive person, not like a toxic way, like I need to beat people, but like I'm competitive with myself. Like I mentioned, I'm very progress minded. So to find an outlet for me to have daily progress, because what's cool about physique enhancement is like you every single day is an opportunity to get better in some way, right? So I could still, if I'm sick and I can't get out of my house, all right, well, I can still get my meals in. If I'm injured, I can't work out, well, I get my steps in. So it's the epitome of finding little ways to make progress in every way possible, which is really cool. And but I started bodybuilding in 2014. I hired my first coach, did my first show, and it was really fun. But it wasn't the show that enticed me. It was the process, right? Because people were like, yeah, so what's your message, Jace? Get the gym? I'm like, no, the gym is such a small variable to everything we're trying to accomplish here. Get into a process here where you have everything lined up to where you can make progress everywhere. When I say progress everywhere, there's 4 pillars, or actually 5 pillars that make a person. It's your emotional pillar, spiritual, financial, physical, and emotional, and mental, right? So it's like those 5 pillars make up a person. So how do we grow these at the same time, right? And the absolute foundation of that success has to come with a good physical body, right? Like I can't be unhealthy or sick and progress in those places, right? Because my mind's clogged down, my digestion's backed up, So us making sure those foundations are full allows us to make progress to the next level. We always say, I'm going to level up. We're going to level up here, So how do we level up is we get to the next level of those things through your foundation of fitness here. So, but since then, I've done 6 bodybuilding competitive seasons. I haven't competed since 2020, which is crazy to say because it's 4 years later. But I've been living the process every single day, and now I'm so addicted to the process that my goal now is to share that with other people. Because people, I think when they say bodybuilding, they are short-sighted because it's a polarizing statement of like, oh, competitive, get on stage. No. Hey, how about we just live the lifestyle and do the process? Or when that time comes, if we are ready to compete, we'll actually pull that trigger. But right now, let's just keep building. Let's keep building here. So. But I'm married. I've been married for about 10 years now. I have this beautiful, wonderful wife named Vanessa, and she's literally the reason I'm here today. So, like, when I say I hit the lottery 10 years ago, I completely hit the lottery. But it was cool because when I saw her, I knew I was gonna marry her. Of course, I'm not sure how many of your viewers are married, but like, it wasn't like an accident.
Some of them are.
So okay,
mom and dad.
Yeah, mom and dad. Awesome. Like, it was cool because like once I saw her, I was like, oh no, like I'm marrying this girl. So I'm glad 10 years later, like, and also I've always been kind of a go-getter. So whether it be like women or goals, that I was like, no, like I'm gonna get her. So she's from upstate New York.
Yes. Bagged a baddie.
Not like New York City, like
but still,
Amish New York.
That's still pretty cool. I mean, New York better than the swamp,
Well, it's cool because when we first started dating, she used to have she used to have an accent, like she's like, hey, get the car. I'm like, ooh, the car.
Oh.
But no, it's cool. She's Cajun now, and she's been living here for over 15, 20 years. But I married her. We have a 9-year-old together, which is awesome. She actually turns 10 next week, and I just live this constantly blessed life where I can just help people and help people achieve a new lifestyle, which is really cool.
Wow, that was a really good answer, and I think I really liked how you talked about the 5 pillars. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah. So if we think about the 5 pillars, like your mental health is very important, right? So one is your mental health. That's how you talk to yourself. That's your ability to have confidence to achieve something greater. That's your ability to stay even keel when life goes up and down. Your emotional health is having emotional acuity, right? I find most men struggle with this the most because like there's 16, 20 different emotions, but they are just happy or horny, right? Or angry, right?
Yeah.
So ability to like understand like, hey, like, I feel this way right now, but instead of me pushing it down, I'm actually going to recognize it and have awareness to evaluate why I'm feeling this way, right? So that's important too. The next one's financial. Financial can be either your career or just how you spend money, right? I mean, some people just have literally no financial literacy or discipline. Mm-hmm. The other one's your physical. So the physical, your lifestyle of you sleeping, your how active you are, you going to the gym, what you ingest and take inside your body, and the last one is your spiritual, right? So how, do you even have a spiritual connection anywhere? So I'm a Christian, so I believe everybody should be, should know and believe in Jesus. But that could be something of you meditating to whatever spiritual realm, So right. But that's the 5 pillars to make a person. And my goal as a coach isn't just impacting physically, but impact those 5 pillars as well.
Wow. So this is just a little question that I really needed to know. If you were to have your final set in the gym, what song would you choose to accompany it and why? I just wanted to know.
So fine,
like your last set, like your last meal, but okay. Like last Ooh. Set.
Oh man!
I just heard a song today, like in my car, and I was like, I just feel like this would be Jace's last set song.
So when I train, I try to train angry. Right, because I truly believe that, like, at some point in your training, when you get so advanced, you need to tap into a dark side of yourself. I like heavy metal because I kind of grew up with metal. I love all genres of music, But when I train, I love listening to some heavy metal, like some Pantera, some Korn, some Slipknot, more of like your '90s, early 2000s, because that's what I grew up with. Right. But it brings in emotion. Right, so having that metal, having that emotion, that thought, wherever that's where a time in my life that I felt that way helps me get to that set.
So, like, some heavy metal is what you're...
For sure. So,
yeah. Like, do you have a specific one?
So, if I'm going to do a set, I'll probably say Domination by Pantera or Blind by Korn.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Good, cool. Don't know either one of those, but cool. Awesome. Okay, moving on. So, in your experience, how does our mental limitations hinder our physical progress within the gym?
So when people are saying, it's like they come to the gym and they're like, oh, I'm hurt here or I'm feeling this here, what they don't understand is the gym is 100% mental, right? The only reason we're able to progress is because we have this thought in our head of what we want to achieve, and then we do it and put our body through enough pain to achieve that, right? And then, of course, through progressive overload or adaptations, how we actually achieve the goal of more muscle or more strength here, right? So it's like, being able to go in the gym and be focused, I think is what people lack, right? Because they're on their phone, they're on social media, they're texting, they're like, what do I do between sets, Jace? Like, how do I stay focused? Honestly, I think it's why people strive with, a group class or trainers, because you don't have time to be on your phone, But going the mental component of training and progressing is humongous. I try to put myself in scenarios, or at least help clients put themselves in scenarios. Like, hey, like if you're a competitor, right, and you're trying to win your next show. Let's say this next set was you winning or losing. Like it's like your top two, and this set depending on that right there. What are you gonna do here? I'm probably gonna go all in, right? I'm probably gonna make every single cell of my body work for this effort to respirate energy to get the next rep here. So you understand too, Elle. Like I don't deal with a lot of new people in the gym.
You don't like new people in the gym?
I don't deal.
Oh,
like,
you don't deal with new people?
Yeah, I don't coach a lot of new people in the gym.
Yes,
right?
I did I know you said that. I knew that.
Well, and why is that, Elle? Is because, I think you coach people who you can help. Okay, so for example, let's say you start training people. Okay, Elle, I'm a personal trainer.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say your fitness level is like a 5. You're gonna help like a 2 and a 3, right? Because they're just trying to get to a 5, right?
Right. I'm
like a 10, so I'm gonna help like the 8 and 9 get to the next level that they might be missing the past decade, the past few years to achieve that next level. And always a mindset thing, So I don't want to say stuff that people might not resonate with. Whether it be on their fitness level or just on their mindset.
Mm-hmm. So with that, and you talking to somebody, say you're talking to like a 1, somebody who really doesn't know what's going on and they've never stepped foot into the gym, but they want to work on their fitness levels. What are some realistic goals that they could set for themselves within the first, 6 months of their fitness journey that are like practical and can actually allow them to stick with a good journey?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. And I'll kind of pick up from there, Elle. So if you've never been in a gym before and you're like, look, I know I need to work out. My body's not where it was 5 years ago. I feel pain, and everybody's telling me to go to the gym, right? Where do I start? I would highly recommend just starting with a trainer or a coach, or somebody who knows how to work out, that's your friend, that would actually take you under their wing. Without any guided direction, you literally can go in there and be like, what does that do? That is super scary, and this looks like it hurts. Right? Yeah. Like I've never played golf my entire life.
Same.
Okay, good.
I do want to be a Bev cart girl one day, though.
Oh, okay. It's the same. So me going to a golf course and trying to swing by myself, hit the iron down the road, whatever it's called, right? Like I would look like a complete fool. I'd probably be discouraged. I'd probably hurt myself. Let's be honest here, So it's like if my buddy who golf, like, hey man, come with me, I'll show you how to do it. I'm like, okay, cool, Or if I hired a golf coach, like, hey, look, here's how you even line up. Here's how you line yourself to the ball here. It's gonna make things so much more enjoyable, but so much faster, right? Because their whole journey becomes your shortcut,
Right.
So I would highly recommend seeking out help, because most people in the gym who actually do well, they have some type of athletic background, right? They played volleyball in high school, played softball in high school. They had a coach that was, hey, do these power cleans and deadlifts or whatever, and they kind of built off that, But if you have no knowledge, it can be scary. It can be intimidating, and the worst thing that happens is you go there and you get intimidated or discouraged and you quit, right?
Yeah.
So I would highly recommend seeking out help from a guy, somebody who literally does this for a living, or one of your friends who works out.
And at what turning point in your life did you realize that you wanted to be a personal trainer and start your own gym?
So funny. So I was actually going to school. I actually want to be a physical therapist. Okay.
Oh, okay.
I met this physical therapist. I passed by a clinic. I used to work at Subway, by the way. So yeah, I worked there for a long time in high school. But I passed this physical therapist, and like they were busy. I'm like, dude, they must be killing it. Making money, help people like get back to health. And so in high school, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to school and do kinesiology and go PT school. Well, my senior year, we had like career day. Right, so we had this, all these people come in, farmers, firemen, your average career. Well, I'm like, okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. I want to do that. So you had to pick what classroom you want to go to based off that. We had this personal trainer. I was like, I'll go to him, whatever, And back then, this is like 2009, right? I graduated in 2009. Nobody was like, personal training was very, it wasn't like it was a very taboo career. Like nobody made money from it, or it was just like nobody did it. At least for us, So I walk in there, and this dude, he's jacked. He has a polo. He got muscle. He has hair fixed. next you know, he comes in, he's like, hey guys, I'm a personal trainer. I drive a Hummer. You know, a client doesn't show up. I go pick them up at their house. I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's awesome. You know, like he had this energy with him, right? You know, I was like, I like this guy right here, you know? And that's what kind of got my wheels turning. But also the next room I went to was actually a PT room, you know, it was occupational therapy. And there was this old lady and she's like, yeah, we help people pick up this. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm going to go with him, right? You know?
Yeah.
So I always
Obviously.
obviously, I had that seed planted a long time ago, you know, and when I got out of college and I started working, I didn't know how to get into it, right? You know, so my buddy, he's like, I was like 21 at the time, 22. I was working offshore. He's a personal trainer in New Orleans, and he'd come back and say, oh, dude, I'm doing this. I'm running clients all day. I was like, dude, how do I even get started? He's like, dude, just get certified. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm working offshore, making some pretty decent money. I ordered my ACE certification. Well, I'm reading it. It took me a year to get it. I mean, I just didn't care. I'm like, whatever, you know. Well, finally, I got laid off offshore, and I was like, oh no, I need to pursue something now, you know. So I sit my wife down, like, hey, baby, look, I think I'm gonna start personal training people. I'm gonna get my certification and train people. She's like, okay, cool. I was like, okay, awesome. I'm trying to convince her, right? You know, and I was like, okay, well, look, you know, and then one day, like, you know, we're gonna build a gym, and then we're gonna, like, you know, train people, and then you have to work in the bar anymore, and we'll use that for income. She's like, okay, I was like, okay, awesome, you're on board, let's go, you know. So once I had the okay from her, I was like, let's go, you know. So I got my PT certification, and then from there, actually, I always recommend people work for a gym first, right? Like, hey, like, learn the business, learn like how to you know, market to clients, have that business give you clients, and you just train people, get experience. Well, me, I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna start my own business, right? You know, because at the time, all the gyms around here, they were like, yeah, put me on a treadmill for half an hour, then you do a HIIT workout for an hour. I'm like, I don't want to do HIIT workouts with my clients. I want to teach them how to actually get results, you know. So I actually started my own business at a gym called Fitness Beyond here in Broussard, and I mean, it's a locally owned gym, but I sit there for like 2 months. I'm like, hey, you want to train? No, you want to train? No, like. Nobody wanted to train with me because they know who this new guy was. And finally, there's one guy named Kevin Linderman. He's actually a PT here in Lafayette. He's like, yeah, I'll train with you, dude. I was like, okay, good. So we do our first session, and it goes really well. He loves my energy. You know, we have good chemistry. Sign him to like 5 times a week training, and then from there, it just landslide into this awesome roster where I was training for like sometimes 12 hours a day. You
wow.
know? And it was super.
Sounds like an ideal day to me.
Well,
like spending 10 hours in the day, and the gym sounds like the vibe.
Well, so back then you did one-on-one, right? It's like, hey, I'm gonna train you one-on-one, and we're gonna do this. Nowadays I do group sessions. Like I train like 5 or 6 people in a group, so it's a lot more efficient, right? You know. So, but back, I mean, I would do 12 hours, dude. I would come home, I was so tired, and I'd get up to 5 a.m. next morning. I wouldn't take a shower. I would literally just go to bed, boom. Wake up, go to gym, come back, take a shower later. Oh, it was rough, but that helped me. It taught me the work ethic you needed to be successful. Like I was hungry, right? You know. So, but yeah, that's how I got started from there. And like I said, I just hired. We had my first gym. We leased a place in Youngsville. I hired all our other coaches. After that, we leased a place. We leased a place inside a gym called Hub City Fitness, which was an awesome blessing for us. Built even bigger platform, built even bigger name, got more clients, and then we built our first gym in November. So we opened up in December. We've been open for about 8 weeks now. You know, it's been a huge blessing.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, awesome. I appreciate it. I wanted to create a place that was like a Monster energy drink. You know, like if you see a Monster energy drink,
it's exactly what it is.
you see it. It's black, it's green, it's the energy, you know. And you walk in my gym, you feel that vibe, right? You know, but also like every single person there is there to train. You know, they're not there to text or hit on girls. You know, like that really changes, like it elevates everybody together. You know, so everybody there, they're operating on a higher frequency, so it's super fun and it's a big blessing. So
it's very progress driven people that I find, and I find that's why I spend the 25 minutes worth of driving that I do to get there regularly, because it's worth it. And it's just a place that feels very safe in my eyes, at least, because as a woman, I feel like other places I have definitely been perceived as like, or just been objectified in the past at other gyms, and that has definitely been a turn off for me to like sometimes want to like not like throw in the towel on working out, but like just kind of close off my gym endeavors, I guess, to the world. Like I didn't want to post about it or anything because I don't know, just being perceived that way. It's like, why don't you imagine your daughter being perceived that way, like by the old men? It's creepy, and it's just like nobody wants to go through that. So whenever I go to Apex and it's just like everyone there is very, you know, not looking at you for that. And if you take off your shirt, nobody's like looking at you like you're crazy. They're looking at you like, okay, you got this next set. Let's go. Like everyone's amped up and excited. And that's what I love about it.
Yeah. And have that encouraging mindset. And that culture started with our first clients, right? You know, like I've been training a lot of my clients for 6-7 years now. You know, they're the foundation, right? You know, and that culture bleeds into everybody else. But you said going there and knowing that it's not for one person, right? People are like, Jace, who do you want? You want these guys, these girls? I'm like, I want a mindset. I want people to come in here ready to crush it and not get judged for training hard or how they look, you know, and get after it. But also who want to be in the community as well, you know, because people come to the gym and they try to avoid people at all costs. So like, you know, they're doing this.
Yeah, I still feel like I'm kind of like that sometimes.
well, but also that could be the culture, right? It's like if
it is the culture.
If you don't feel welcome there, it's like, oh, I don't want to be here. I'm just gonna do my thing, get out of here. You know, like I want people to build community because not a lot of people have positive people in their circle, right? You know, and like your circle dictates your growth and your mindset as well. So if you're around people who are successful, who do care about how they look and want to make progress, most likely you're gonna make friends and do the same thing as well.
Right. And I think with that, obviously you're a very jacked dude. So, I mean, you definitely have noticed the difference. Have you noticed a difference within the way people talk to you once you put on all of your muscle?
100%.
What was that like?
Well, I've always been a bigger guy, you know, so like I played football in college. I was like 260 in college, you know. But whenever you have muscle mass, whenever you have a good body fat composition, and you look healthy, people perceive you differently, right? Like I could walk in a room and you can imagine, oh, he's disciplined, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, he probably follows a meal plan, right? Oh, he's probably very strong, you know. And that confidence kind of pours on everybody around you, you know. So like when you're confident, it changes how you talk to people. It changes the decisions you make, but also your mood, right? Mm-hmm. You know, but also being welcome enough because a lot of people when they see somebody who looks elite, you know, they think like they're a-hole or they're stuck up, you know. So whenever you show them love and like compassion, you actually care and listen to what they say. It changes their entire mindset.
It like
you know?
mind blows them.
Yes, yeah, and not like I said, not every. I guess nowadays people are a little they perceive a little differently, you know. Mm-hmm. But I mean, 10 years ago, like if you had a lot of muscle, it was kind of weird. It's like, well, I got all this muscle, dude. What are you doing, you know? So you know, but again, but I love the fact that people treat me differently because of what I built, you know.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever experienced burnout?
That's a great question. So I haven't yet.
Wow.
Well, because the people experience burnout. Let's say for example, you're doing this podcast, right? You know, you're like, oh, freaking burn out on it here. You know, you probably didn't create a system well enough to sustain this output, right? So, for example, let's say you know you get 1,000 subscribers in like every day for the next 30 days, right? You know, and people are contacting you to try to get on the show, and they're trying to pay you to be on the show. You're like, oh, it's a lot here. Well, let me increase my outputs, right? Well, if you didn't set up the system in your schedule with school, with your social time and recharge time, you're like, dude, this is too much. Like, I need to hire people on. I need to do something else, you know. So I can't do this anymore, you know. So that's an issue of systems, but it's also an issue of passion, right? So I'm super passionate about everything I do, right? Like everything in life I'm super passionate about, right? Well, let's say I wasn't passionate. At some point, it would start to show its ugly head, right? You're like, oh yeah, well here we go again. Let's do this here, you know. So if you're passionate about something and you have good systems, you should never experience burnout. And that scaling and growth you do experience should be on a good linear curve to where you can handle it.
Wow, that was a really cool answer. But I wish that solved my burnout problems that I feel within school sometimes. But I feel like that's a different thing because school, I feel like it's definitely easy to feel burnout in school whenever you've been doing that your whole life. Did you get a degree?
I did not. I went to school for 6 years and didn't get anything.
Wait, what? Tell me about that.
So after college, I got a scholarship to a school called Missouri Western State University. It's up in St. Joe, Missouri. Went there for a semester. Walked on to Missouri State. Played football there. I was trying to go to a bigger college. I wanted to party a little more. Then I came to SLCC here for, I don't know, I tried 3-4 times, you know, and I did all that, changed my degree, changed my major so many times, I had to reset every time. And when you move schools to different states, a lot of times those credits don't transfer, right? So that's what I did. And so no degree. But I can remember being burned out from school, and it was really because, like, you know, you had 3 tests 1 week. You know, it's like, oh, shoot, all right, when I have 3 tests, I got to study 3 times more. And then you don't sleep. So now you have less energy or bandwidth to even study. And it's like now you're even less productive when you study. So of course you'll be burned out, you know. So it's hard to manage school because it's so what's the word? So finicky, as far as your output at different times in different classes. But that's when I did get burned out of school, that was why.
So, do you have any advice for college students or just high schoolers or anyone in general who is trying to get a good fitness regimen going for them but can't seem to get it with being in grad school, high school, college, middle school, whatever, like you name
Elementary,
it,
pre-K.
midlife crisis, anything?
Yes. Yeah. So, one thing I work with a lot of busy professionals, right?
Right.
That's people one can afford me. But number two, that's who I talk to, right? And when I say professionals, they either own a business or they work for somebody at a high level, and their biggest thing is they need schedule efficiency. Okay. So if I wake up and I'm already 10 minutes behind. I don't have time to get my stuff, make my meals, get my coffee. I just grab a coffee and go. Well, now I missed meal one, right? I'm leaving my house with 50% battery already, right? So it's like, okay, all right, how do I manage this from there? Then I grab something convenient. I go to the gas station and get a croissant, right? That has no micronutrients. Now I'm tired, my blood sugar spiked high, and now I'm even operating at a lower bandwidth there. So it's like, if you could just manage your schedule better, of like what time you prep your food, what time you prep for the day, prep for your classes and study, and not stay up late, not drink a ton of caffeine, not eat a bunch of junk food because you're stressed out. That would be the biggest thing there.
So what are like optimal times for college students, not asking for anyone in particular, but myself, that we should be going to bed and
Yes.
waking up in the morning?
The same time.
Oh,
Because
okay.
your body works on this rhythm, right? Everything in your body is perfectly balanced with ebbs and flows and these cycles. So there's something called circadian rhythm. That's the time that your body releases cortisol to wake up in the morning. So at my cortisol spikes at 6 a.m. Naturally, whether my alarm's at that time or not, my body is excited, my body wants to get up and move. Okay, well that curve tends to come down towards the end of the day. So 12 o'clock is peaked. Well, at 2 o'clock it's come down. At 6 it's down. At 9 it's probably its lowest there. Well, now my body releases other hormones that are more down regulatory, like melatonin and serotonin. These are calm my body down, right? That's why we get tired. It's this natural circadian rhythm throughout the day. Well, if I'm getting to 9 o'clock and I'm like, shoot, I forgot to write this paper. Okay, well, look, let me write this paper. I'm up till 1 a.m. Well, now, even though I went to bed at 2 a.m., I wake up and I try to go to sleep till 10. My body's still awake at 6 a.m., right? I have these cars that still driving up there. And then people, they're doing the same thing. They try to catch up on sleep. They're going to sleep late or going to sleep early, and they're not letting the body catch up these natural rhythms. So they feel tired all the time. Even though they're awake, not really awake, they're wired but tired. So that's the biggest thing. Is like, all right, how can I at least go to sleep within an hour time frame every single night, whether it be earlier or later, so I can manage that I can actually leverage that cortisol for me. So in the morning, I can actually do my biggest papers, my biggest tests, whatever I need to do. And at night, I can calm down, read a book, and go to bed well.
Nice. So what are some ways that we can emotionally, I know that in previous podcasts you've mentioned that you need to emotionally detach from the journey sometimes because it's difficult and you need to compartmentalize what's going on. So for somebody just starting out or somebody somewhere in the middle, how would you do that if you have no good control over doing that?
Yeah, okay, so the journey being like your fitness journey, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So it's easy to, when you start something new, like physique enhancement, right, that you get obsessed about it. And when I say obsessed, is like this is the first time in your life that you actually did something that actually worked, right? You're losing body fat, you build muscle, you have more productivity, you feel better, you have more confidence, right? So it's like, shoot, I want to go towards this here, But learning not to obsess over it to where it becomes a negative thing. Right. Mm-hmm. So what I mean by that is like get excited, hey, get pumped up, get motivated here, but learn to shut it off when you with your family, when you're when you're at school, when you're at your job, right? Because my physique enhancement journey makes my life, right? But it isn't my life, right? So learn to separate that obsession or that prioritization, but also live a life outside there is super key there. I mean, again, I think at the end of the day, if people just live a balanced lifestyle, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, and had other time to do other things, that will really allow them to detach from that emotional standpoint of their results, of their relationships, of their progress, but still make progress at a fast rate.
That was very good stuff there. Okay, wait. So
So there's something called effective volume, and what that is you only have so many sets or output to number one cause a response that you can grow from, but that you're not over fatiguing your body pretty much. So what I mean by that is if you do 4 sets of 10 and you crush it, you kill yourself, okay? Go on to the next exercise. How much do you really have left to be strong and progress here? We want to progress every single exercise. So not just the front half of the workout, it's the last half. So let's say I'm in a workout, I'm doing glute thrusts, squats, lunges, and leg extensions. I want to get my leg extensions and still be effective there, So managing that volume so we're not doing too much, too many reps, too many sets beforehand, and being effective there. What being effective is training close to failure to create that response is going to allow me to get there and make progress there. So women do way too much volume, first of all, but also a lot of them just aren't focused in the gym, So like they'll do a set and be like, go talk for a while, right? I'm on my phone a little bit. I think everybody's kind of guilty of that there, So being intentional is something I preach to my clients. Like, hey, have intention here. I mentioned earlier about whether that this next set is going to determine if you win or lose. If we have that mindset for every single set in the gym, then we're gonna be effective. I don't want to get in the gym and be again affect my first half and then start to lose my interest. I get texts, a few phone calls. I'm like, shoot, I still got leg extensions left. So having that focus is super key there. But I think another big thing is women just don't lift heavy enough or hard enough. A lot of women, they think that you have to go to the gym and be dainty. Not do too much. Let me do this over here. When really what built a physique 1,000 years ago builds it currently here. There's no special glute exercise or band that's gonna get the result there. You have to progressively overload your weight to where you're doing more every single week and more reps over time. But you have to train close to failure to actually train to create a response there is effective.
So if you're an intermediate gym girly, should you be doing like 3 sets of till fail?
So I would say do enough sets that you feel that. So if you're brand new in the gym, okay, let's focus on movement patterning. Meaning, if you never squat before with a barbell, a hack squat, a dumbbell, let's actually focus on doing it really well first, right? Because there's a lot of people that are doing things bad in the gym and they're getting stronger, right? So it's like, all right, now you're doing the wrong muscle and now you're actually getting stronger and you're working backwards here,
and you're gonna get hurt.
And you're gonna get hurt at some point, exactly right. So I would say your first thing is to build a movement prowess and to build that skill to where you're doing it effectively. From there, add weight, add reps, have a slower tempo, build a bigger connection there to where you can do it with a good amount of weight that's effective, but you're maintaining a good form.
So what do you think is the best split just for maintaining for women?
So I don't coach maintenance.
Okay, so you coached for like
progress.
Yes. Okay. What's the difference?
If a woman wants to maintain what they're doing, they really don't have to do much. Okay, once you build those myonuclei inside the muscle, it stays there, right? Unless I just literally atrophy till I'm withered away. So it's like, what do I have to do to maintain? Eat my food. So I keep a high protein intake, keep my diet. We're in a good spot. I'm not putting body fat on, but I'm actually fueling my workouts. But to maintain, you don't need to do much. Maybe 1 set per exercise, you're gonna maintain there, But progress, which I think everybody should chase at all times, is gonna be what's effective here. Okay, so for example, if I go to a gym and I'm not in it. Whether someone's hurting mentally, I'm not in it. Hey, go home. Like you should only go. Don't ever go to a gym to do a workout because you need to work out, right? Because a lot of people come to me. Yeah, I need a little mental breaks. I can't work out. I'm like, oh, it's not good. Hey, how about you? Folks?
I've definitely said that to you before.
Well, and no one, go do movement. Go have fun, right? But if your goal is progress, every single workout you do should be geared towards that progression.
Yeah, I feel like that makes a lot of sense because one time I worked out with Jason. Maybe I shouldn't expose myself. Let me just say, Jason said I wasn't training hard enough, and that really took my ego down. Like, not that I had a big ego in the gym, but I thought I was doing something. But he was like, Elle, you have so much more, and you are not training hard enough. And I was like, dang, I just feel like I need to do something about that. So, I've definitely experienced just doing maintenance and not being progressive, which I think I'm leaning towards. So in order to get a more progressive split, what would you recommend?
So split meaning like what's your training per week?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, it depends what you need to build, right? So when clients first come to me out and I onboard them, they send me pictures. From these pictures, I decide what do we need to build? What's going to make this physique a complete physique? Because essentially, physique enhancement is all about I'm trying to build every single muscle in your body before developed to have a complete physique. That's not only for visual purposes, but for longevity as well, right?
Right.
I'll make sure that we're not compensating different muscles, that everything's strong, everything's moving and posturally correct. So basically. I would look at your pictures, I'd be like, hey, Elle, we need more hamstrings. We need more glutes. We need more shoulders. I'll put more prioritization in these muscle groups, not volume. I'm not going to increase the volume here, okay? We'll just probably do them first, and we'll probably just have 2 exercises in 1 exercise. Then from there, we'll build them up, So again, as far as like how many days a week you're working out, that's probably the first thing. So if you're training 4 days a week, I'll probably say, hey, here's upper, here's lower, here's upper, here's lower, right? I give you a chance to separate your body parts, build a balance split here. We're like, hey, I want to come 5 times a week. I'm like, okay, well, look, how about we go leg day anterior, so we'll go quads, maybe some adductors. Next day we go glutes and hamstrings, and the last day we go full leg. That'll give us 2 or 3 days of recover based on your recoverability abilities, but it allows us to progress the muscle faster. So it depends on how many days you work out a week, but I would never tell somebody not to work something out, right? Like women are like, I want to do my arms. I'm like, why not? I don't like doing arms. Well, you need to do everything, right? Because ultimately we want to be balanced as possible. I'm again assuming that your physique tells that tale as well, because if you come to me and you have a huge arm, like, oh, if I didn't train that often here,
Yeah.
So, but I believe that everybody, for the most part, whether you've been training for 5 or 10 years, that we should strive to have a balanced physique as much as possible.
So, depending on goals, when should you do cardio? Should you do cardio before you're working out, or should you do cardio after?
So I have clients do cardio before their workouts, and it's only like 100 calories or maybe 10 minutes, right? Our goal is to champion your workout the entire week. So for example, I work out 4 times a week. My goal the entire week is how can I be as strong as possible and have as much energy coming to this workout. So my sleep, my meals, my mindset is all geared towards that here. So if I do cardio for a workout, I say do 30 minutes. That's less glycogen and energy output I have for that workout. So I'd recommend if you do cardio before your workout, just do warm up. Do 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes there. But if you are using cardio as a tool for fat loss, use that tool at the end of the workout or another time in the day.
That makes sense. So doing it either at the end of your workout or at a different time of the day.
Yes, exactly right.
So going into that different time of the day workouts, what do you think of like challenges like the 75 hard or the 75 soft or just different diets and juices that you can do? What do you think of those?
Yeah, so I think it's good buy-in to facilitate some type of change that eventually you're gonna learn from. So for example, if you do 75 hard, you're gonna learn, okay, well, I didn't do a cheat meal for 75 days, right? I drank water, I worked out twice a day, I did all this stuff here, You're not going to be able to sustain those habits because it's unsustainable, but you're going to take something from that, like, oh, no, I actually feel better when I drink this water. So let me keep doing that, right? I actually feel better when I work out once a day. Let me keep doing that, or doing yoga, whatever, So I think it's beneficial in those places, but knowing that you're not going to be able to sustain that makes it invaluable. Okay.
Right.
So for example, I have a client, he loses 200 pounds on keto. Okay, awesome. What's your exit plan? Right? Mm-hmm. Or are you just going to stop and go back to what you're doing and get back to the 200 pounds back? So I think coaching a more balanced approach that's sustainable is really the key to success. Because if you get the results, but a year later you're back to where you were, the plan didn't work there. Mm-hmm. You should be able to look better every single year, be healthy every single year, get leaner every single year.
What made you want to stay in Louisiana and open up a gym in Louisiana whenever you experience a different culture? Whenever you moved to LA?
Yeah, so LA is super fun. It's different nowadays after COVID, but like 2017, 2018, when I was there, it was really fun, But the thing about LA is it's just super expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
If you don't have a few investments already or real estate there, you really can't have much wiggle room or can't really do much there, But what is cool is you can't charge high prices. So if you do work inside a gym, you are able to make a good living there while working, while being a contractor trainer, But my vision was always to build a gym to have exactly what I have now, a place where people can come train. We have a men's group. We have a Bible study there now. So come to do Christian life, can come connect and do business. So having the ability to live in Louisiana, where I believe really God called me to be here to impact this community, is the goal.
At what point did religion and the gym correlate?
Ooh, so I honestly believe that they're so in sync that it's tangible, right? Like the same way we're disciplined in our Christian walk to spend time with God, to be spiritually healthy, you know, and to literally, you know, be Christ like every single day. That's the same way we do with our program, right? My meals, my water, my sleep, those lifestyle factors, like they really go hand in hand. But also your spiritual life should make your fitness better, and vice versa here, you know. But I would say I start really preaching that, or you know, staying on that box there. I'd probably say 2018 when I really started getting deeper in my spiritual walk, you know, and I knew that like the better I felt, the better my relationship was. So it's hard to be a Christian when you don't feel good. You're not digesting well. You're in a bad mood, right? When you're you know, overweight or weak, you know. I believe that as Christians, that, you know, we are freaks, right? We're not like anybody else around that people know. So all right, well, how about being a strong Christian? You know, people see me like, oh man, this guy's strong and he's Christian, cool. Oh, he's cool too. You know, he's funny, he's encouraging. Okay, and he's Christian. That's awesome. So it's like we want to lay out a good avatar for people to be like, that's what I want to become. What's it take to get there? Oh, get saved. Let's go.
So what was the moment that you decided to get saved?
So I got saved in 2016. I was before that, I grew up in the church. I guess you say that I grew up in a Baptist church that you know, preached hellfire and you know repentance and you know, not to say that I didn't have experiences back then, but nothing big enough to make me stick to it. You know, I mean, I remember being 21 and I was around other Christians. And I was like, dude, why don't I feel like you guys feel? Like I was so perplexed. Why I didn't have that same experience or sensation they did. You know, but in 2016, I was at Our Savior's, and before then, I went to a men's group that my coach at the time had, and they were talking about Christ, and I was getting angry. I was like, dude, can we talk about something else? Can we talk about bodybuilding? Like, well, okay, keep talking about this stuff, you know? And I knew that I was like, oh, if I'm getting angry, that's me pulling away, right? You know? So like, you know, my coach at the time said, like, hey, dude, like, you know, you're a strong guy, you know, like you're successful in life, you're doing great, you know, but with this relationship, you're gonna be better, you know? And I started seeing through a different lens, like, oh no, like this is literally the key to a successful life: happiness, mercy, joy that I haven't experienced yet, that I'm looking for other things like marijuana, like alcohol, party, and girls, right? You know, so in 2016, I went to a church. There's this great pastor time named Tim Delina, and he preached a few times, and he'd always say, like, you know, give you a chance to repent afterwards and you know, and live for Christ. Well, one time during the worship, I grew up in, I never worshipped. I was always like the guy that just kind of stood there like, okay, hurry up and do this. Okay, play the music, hurry up, you know. And then one time he's like, the guy was like, hey, put your hands up, everybody. And I put their hands up. I'm like, I'll put my hands up, you know. So I started putting my hands up. I started singing, and immediately just tangible, radical change experience that just came upon me, where like I started bawling, crying, right? I started shaking, crying. I was like, oh, that's him. Okay, hey, Lord, I'm ready, you know. And when people say they're ready, you're ready to live the rest of your life for Him, right? Because there's a lot of Christians out there that, yeah, I did that, I got saved, you know, or they might even know the Bible. They can repeat the Bible to you, but they don't have a relationship, you know. And the thing about a relationship is something you have to nurture and constantly chase and pursue. You know, the same way I pursue my wife's at a deeper intellect, or I pursue, you know, more intimacy with her, you want to do that with God as well, you know. So at that moment, I was like, oh no, I'm ready, Lord, you know. And it was cool, because once you get saved, you start seeing like all the pieces of the puzzle before that kind of push you that way, you know, people, experiences, opportunities, like, oh, that was God, you know. So I'm blessed now. Actually, I got a message to me before this. He said, hey man, I just want you to know that, like, you know, you pushed me to go to church a while back. I did it. I got saved, and it's the best decision of my entire life. I also want to thank you for that. I'm like, dude, I'm just a vessel now, bro, you know. But I'm honored to that God. I can hear Him talking to use me as that, right? Because that's all our goal on this earth is now. He's like, all right, well, I got a God. How can I help other people now?
So what is it like living in a world that's so backwards or countercultural to live as a Christian? Like, what is that like, living as a Christian as a man?
I don't mind it. I don't mind being a black sheep. Like, I love like embarrassing my wife. You know, like we go somewhere, like I'll make some loud noise, or like face the other way in the elevator, just embarrass her. You know, so I don't mind being that person. Be like, what's wrong with this guy? You know, because I do think we should stand out. You know, we should take up space. We should have an identity amongst other people. You know, but Honestly, I think we're blessed. Hey, how can we say we're Christians if there's no challenges, right? How can we say we're about something if there's never any resistance, So I don't have too much resistance now. So I pray for people, daily. I actually prayed for this girl at the gym before I got here, and what my men's group is, yeah, man, I just girl if I could pray for her, but she said no. I was embarrassed, I was like, dude, I've been praying for people for like 6 years now. Like nobody's ever said no, I was like, yeah, dude, because you're 6'2" and 280. That's why. I was like, oh, I guess you're right, So I don't experience too much resistance away from it, But when you talk to people and you look at them and you truly care about that person and you're genuine, they sense that, right? They feel that energy, So it's like anything you do from there, they're like, yeah, sure, I trust you, So.
Yeah, that's really true. I feel like I do trust people who emulate that Jesus-like, childlike innocence that people who are close with God, like you can tangibly see, like you can feel their energy. Do you have anything else that you want to add that could be helpful or beneficial for newcomers in the gym?
Newcomers in the gym, yeah, like I said, seek out help. If you look on social media, I mean, like TikTok is amazing now with all its informational qualities, but you're gonna do more research and get more confused.
I feel like I definitely did get more confused when I started.
Well, but it was a good outlet for you. Like, okay, well, let me expose myself to what's out there, right? So I think social media is awesome. It's a blessing with the opportunities to connect with other people and learn, But too many people are preaching without ever living the process, right? So like, I know it works. I've been doing this for 10 years. I've helped over 1,000 people achieve their best self. So I'm confident in what I do, It's people like, Jace, what do you think about this? I'm like, I don't know that. I have no opinion on that because I don't do that stuff, Or like, hey, what kind of training plan do you follow? I'm like, I follow my training plan, I built this after 10 years of experience, So just make sure if you do listen to somebody that they've been in the trenches, they put their hands on people, they've coached people in person and online, and they've got results, because everything else is just noise.
Do you believe that you have achieved your best self?
In every way possible? Or in one way?
Just in general.
Okay, all right. I achieved my best self. I've achieved my best self at this moment, on this day, at this time. So and what's so cool is like, what's so cool about walk with God, he's never been like, here's the path. He's like, hey, look down. That's your next step. That's your next step. That's your next step, And I think it's really cool because I can preach to my clients, who, whether it be a woman who's died her whole life and trying to see some fat loss, and it's very tough because metabolically she's downregulated. I'm like, hey, look, take your time, patience here, right? I live it daily, right? And I think patience is a big quality that a lot of people don't have, because in today's society, nobody has delayed gratification. They want that instant gratification, But the thing about physique enhancement, you can't buy it. You can't inherit it, right? I can inherit a Ferrari and be like, man, that guy's rich. He got a Ferrari. I just got that last week, right? But you see somebody with a good physique, guess what? They put that time in. They were patient in that process. They were disciplined, and that's what speaks volumes about it.
And you can't take that away from that person.
You cannot take it away from that person.
And that is probably the reason why I continue to come back to the gym. What's the reason that you continue to come back to the gym every day?
So I'm so bought in on this process that like, I can't turn away now. It's like getting saved, right? You can't have a spiritual experience and be like, hey God, not today, not this year, it's so tangible of like the benefits and how you feel and what you experience. It's like there's no turning back now, and I know now. So I tell clients, like, at the most superficial level of your goals is how you look, right? I know if I look good, I'm more confident, I feel good, I operate really well, Well, at the second level, the medium level is like, all right, I want to be optimal every single day. I want to be in a position with my body's environment to I can feel healthy, make an impact. Because again, if too many people, like, Elle, would you ever leave your house with your phone at 50% battery?
Today I did, so.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, you did say. Okay, well, most people wouldn't, right? Because guess what? It's gonna die.
I typically don't. Just for reference, I do like my phone to be near 100% because it's an A in the letter grade system, so it means I made an A on my test. That's what I like to envision. But looking at my percentage right now, it means I failed.
So 99.9 of the people inside the world, other than Elle, they wouldn't leave their phone with their phone at 50% battery because it's going to die at 12, right? And there's a full day that I might need to contact people or might have opportunities come up, Well, to me, people, Elle, they're leaving their house with their body at 50%, right?
Wow.
So so they're operating this, they don't even know it, right? They're just like, yeah, it's normal. I just drink coffee and go my day here, So it's like how can we make an environment for your body that is operating the highest level possible, optimal, right? And again, it's going to create other opportunities for you, but also make your relationships more valuable, right? Like if I get home at 7 p.m. and I'm just shut off emotionally, physically, mentally, and I've done to give my kid, my daughter, and my wife, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm not being a good husband anymore, right? So it goes a lot further than you think, but also at the deepest core level of our goals is who we influence. Every single day, you're influencing people by your actions, right? So for example, Elle, I'm like 20-mile famous. Right?
I thought you said 30-mile. It went down like, 20 now?
I'm like 30-mile famous, okay?
Oh.
So people look at me and they're like, dude, like this dude lives a lot, like the process. He coaches people, I can trust him in this fitness industry and stuff like that. If I posted next week of me at Marley's getting drunk, how would that look?
Not good.
Not good at all, right? If I posted me and me smoking a blunt with my boys, how would that look?
Not good.
Not good at all, right? So it's like we're constantly influence people, but it's like your image, who you touch, who you see, that can go so further than we think. A lot of times those seeds we won't see that fruition for another few years. Like my buddy, the guy messaged me earlier. I coached him 5 years ago, literally 5 years ago. I was like, hey man, come to OSC. Okay, cool. He's a cop. Came to OSC. He actually did some security there for a while, and he's like, man, I just came out of Christ. And now he messaged me say, dude, I just want to thank you for being you. So it's cool that that those little investments we're making people and those seeds we plant always come back.
Thank you, Jace, for coming on. My battery died.
Oh, got you.
So yeah, thank you, Jace, for coming on. Do you have anything else you want to say?
No, I mean, if you guys want to find me, I'm most on Instagram. I have my account's Jace_Lopez_. I have a page for my gym, page my online coaching. You find it through my bio there. And if you're interested in just asking questions, I love questions. I love helping people. And if you want to work with me in some capacity, I have a link in my bio that you can set up a little consult with me as well.
Yeah, so Jace is awesome, and you should definitely invest in going to the gym, and hopefully this started some type of revolution, or maybe just made you amped up to go to the gym today, because I sure am. Even though I already went, I shouldn't go again today, but I want to, but I'm not. But so with that, thank you guys. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and I'll see you next week. Stay savage, stay sexy, and stay tuned for another episode of What the Elle every Friday. Love you. Bye.